Hello, everyone. I am a volunteer with For a Safer Space. Today's presentation is about autism spectrum disorder. I would like to begin this presentation with a land acknowledgement, and this is for Toronto, where the Dish with One Spoon territory is located, as well as Toronto Metropolitan University. The Dish with One Spoon is a treaty between the Anishinaabe, Mississaugas, and Haudenosaunee that bound them to share the territory and protect the land. Subsequent Indigenous nations and peoples, Europeans, and all newcomers have been invited into this treaty in a spirit of peace, friendship, and respect. Today's agenda will include an introduction about autism spectrum disorder, followed by the signs and symptoms, causes and risk factors, co-occurring health conditions, treatment options, and lastly, the conclusion. What is autism spectrum disorder? Autism spectrum disorder is a brain-related developmental condition that affects how a person perceives and interacts with others, leading to issues with social interaction, restricted interests, and repetitive behavior. The word spectrum refers to the broad spectrum of symptoms and severity associated with autism spectrum disorder. Early onset autism spectrum disorder eventually results in issues with social, academic, and occupational functioning in society. Within the first year, autism symptoms in children are frequently visible. A small percentage of kids seem to develop normally in the first year, but between the ages of 18 and 24 months, when they start to show signs of autism, they go through a period of regression. Signs and symptoms. Not all people with ASD will exhibit all of the behaviors listed below, but the majority will exhibit several of them. The most common types of behaviors in people with ASD include social communication and interaction behaviors, such as making little or inconsistent eye contact, appearing not to look at or listen to people who are talking, infrequently sharing interest, emotion, or enjoyment of objects or activities, not responding or being slow to respond to one's name or to other verbal bids for attention, using facial expressions, movements, and gestures that do not correspond to what is being said, and having an unusual tone of voice that may sound sing-song or flat and robot-like. Restrictive and repetitive behaviors, such as repeating behaviors or unusual behaviors, such as repeating words or phrases, having a long-term intense interest in certain topics, such as numbers, details, or facts, excessively focused interests, such as those in moving objects or parts of objects, being bothered by minor changes in a routine and having difficulty transitioning, and being more or less sensitive to sensory input, such as light, sound, clothing, or temperature than other people. Causes and risk factors. The primary causes of ASD are unknown, but studies suggest that genetics and environment interact to affect development in ways that lead to ASD. The following factors increase the risk of a person being autistic: having an autistic sibling, having older parents, being born with certain genetic conditions such as Down syndrome or Fragile X syndrome, and being born with a very low birth weight. Co-occurring health conditions. Co-occurring conditions such as the following may also have an impact on the general physical health of people on the autism spectrum: epilepsy, hypotonia, sleep disorders, digestive issues, uncommon responses to pain, over or underreacting, metabolism problems, how the body breaks down food for energy. Co-occurring mental health conditions for people on the autism spectrum include anxiety, depression, obsessive compulsive disorder, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Treatment. ASD is a lifelong condition. Both children and adults with autism benefit from behavioral interventions or therapies that teach new skills and address the core deficits of autism. Because everyone experiences ASD differently, the treatment plan is tailored to each individual's needs. It is best to start interventions early on so that the benefits of therapy can last throughout life. Treatment can include behavioral therapy, medications, or both, and typically involves the entire family as well as multiple professionals. Now we'll go over resources. The most important thing to take away from this video is that there's support and help available. For an immediate mental health crisis, reach out to a crisis line for support. For non-immediate mental health support, a useful resource is For a Safer Space. For a Safer Space is a nonprofit that offers accessible and inclusive mental health care. Visit the website for more information if you'd like to reach out for support. That concludes the presentation on autism spectrum disorder. Thank you for watching.